Today we're gonna make one of my favorite desserts, the double chocolate oatmeal cookie. What we're gonna need for this recipe is half a stick of unsalted butter that's been softened at room temperature. Now you can use salted butter, but I prefer to use unsalted. 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup rolled oats, and 4 ounces each of white and semi-sweet morsels, and those come out to be about half a cup of each. Now let's get started. So I'm gonna be using today my KitchenAid stand mixer with the paddle attachment, but you can use any hand mixer, or obviously you can do all of this by hand. You don't need any sort of fancy equipment. I already have my butter in the bowl, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to add the sugar to the bowl. So dump that sugar in there, and we're gonna cream these together. So I'm gonna stir kind of fast. So now the sugar and the butter are all mixed together, and I'm gonna add my egg. And I'm gonna measure out 1 teaspoon of my vanilla extract, and then I'm gonna mix that all together. Now I'm gonna move on to the dry ingredients. Now I'm gonna add the flour, baking powder, and salt. We're gonna give it all another mixing. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add the oats. Just add them little by little. Because after all the oats are in, the mix is gonna get very stiff. Now I like to add the chocolate chips and then do all the mixing by hand, so I'm just gonna pop this off of here. You can see what the dough looks like. Now I'm gonna add the chocolate chips. Oh, get all those in there. Get a little arm workout in there, mix it all the chips together. I want you to see what this looks like. That's when everything's mixed together. Let's give it another turn. Okay, I think that's good. Now the next step is very important. What I want to do is I want to put the mix in the refrigerator while I preheat my oven at 375 degrees. So while my cookies were chilling in the refrigerator and the oven was preheating, I went ahead and lined my cookie sheet with parchment. That way the cookies won't stick. To shape the cookies, I like to use this cookie scoop. You can also use an ice cream scoop, a teaspoon or a tablespoon, but I like to make small bite-sized cookies. So I'm gonna go ahead and start shaping these. Then you just take a little bit of dough, and then just plop it right there. And they look small right now, but when they come out, you'll see that that's the perfect kind of bite size to eat, 1 or 3 or 10. And you're probably gonna keep them about 1.5 inches apart on the cookie sheet. Okay, so I finished putting all my cookies on the cookie sheet. The leftover cookie dough goes back in the refrigerator, and now I'm gonna bake these between 8 and 9 minutes, and you'll know they're done because the tops are gonna start turning light golden, not brown. Don't leave them in there for too long. Oh yeah. Get these out. Oh, these are perfect. The edges are just a little bit brown. Now you need to let them cool on the cookie sheet for about 3 minutes. And then what you want to do is you want to transfer them over to a cooling rack. So I'm going to continue transferring all the cookies to the cooling rack. I also have a couple more batches that still need to go in the oven. I hope you enjoy the recipe, and I'll see you guys next time.